Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. So much good news coming out. It's exciting times. But let's dive right into the news, and I'll get into some of this throughout our discussion. Ripple president reveals next crypto revolution in 2024. And this comes at a time when digital currency landscape is witnessing unprecedented levels of interest. And here we have Ripple president Monica Long, and she's hinted at a 2024 being the pivotal year in the institutionalization of cryptocurrencies. So she has a post directly on, as we say, Twitter X, or Twitter previous current X. 2024 is quickly shaping up to be the year of crypto institutionalization on a macro scale, though worth noting that several TradFi companies have launched crypto access tokenization products, etc., in previous bear markets. And thanks at Eric Newcomer and a team for a fantastic event. So let's kind of like dive into that for a second, where she mentions tokenization. That's pretty massive. I didn't mean to click there. Let's just go back because I don't want to lose the train of thought here. Okay, let's get off that link, the hyperlink there, and let's just highlight this one. Again, guys, don't look at your screen if you're driving or if you're working. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and stay safe to others as well. But tokenization, past few days, where do I want to go with that? Okay, let's go this way first. If you've paid attention to our channel, or if you're really deep into this and you're doing your own research and you're well informed, then you understand what's going on with tokenization. It's a massive deal. We're going to connect that back to the BIS. We're going to connect that back to Ripple and to AMM. And then to tokenization, what's major historical moment this week, even the past few days, is Stellar just surpassed Ethereum in the tokenization of treasuries. So this is a pretty big deal from the beginning of the channel. We'd always said, even though XRP was created before Bitcoin, that Bitcoin was there to open the door and set precedent for XRP. And now that's starting to become obvious. The news kind of is about 5-6 years behind us, probably further, but at least that from the research we did. 2019 was a huge pivotal point where we kind of laid out the entire XXX foundation, showing that they were connected to the entire world of finance. The world of finance having 3 tiers, being wholesale, retail, and trade. And then we always threw in the 4th little asterisk with the supply chain of VeChain. So when you had those 4, you pretty much had the whole running of the entire new foundation for the world moving forward. So we also showed VeChain being the exclusive asset of the APAC and Australia region back then as well. And we also showed how there were there were multiple blockchains, but only 2 permitted and acceptable at the time cryptocurrencies for China, and that was Postal X, and that was also VeChain. And VeChain, we showed even back then, they were using facial recognition and paying with VeChain as a currency. And that's been, easily 5 years ago. And we had actually shown the video back then. And now we're seeing again from Ubit, where they're using VeChain again all around the world. And what was the most recent video was in Dubai, using VeChain as a currency to pay for products directly from the store using their Ubit Pay. So it's kind of unfolding. The news is finally catching up, which is exciting, but which is really, really nauseating to even say anymore as being early, because back then, over 10 years ago, that was kind of early when it was the Wild Wild West, but we're still a little bit early, though we can now see the finish line. And as Brad always said back then, it was not a sprint, it was a marathon. And I think now the marathon is finally coming to an end, because everything that we discussed coming has now officially came at the end of, or I should say by the, stumbling over my words, by the end of March and by the beginning of April, everything at that point that we've ever discussed has now become live. So we also shared today with the Swift. Today is their 1-year anniversary, literally to the day of ISO 20022 going live on the Swift network. And there's so much more going on. Speaking of Gary Gensler, the next article, Ripple Not A Security, says European Institute, what does this mean for the SEC versus XRP? We're going to dive into that really quick, and then I would consider some very, 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 very massive news we're going to get into right after this discussion as well. We're going to connect it because it literally is about Gary Gensler and the SEC. Surprisingly, it will benefit Ripple, but it's not about Ripple. So let's get into what is. A new study suggests XRP is a utility token, and how tokens are classified depending on how they are distributed is at the crux of the debate. The XRP versus SEC court hearing should start on March 22nd, 2024. What else starts on March 22nd? I'll give you 3, 2, 1. Did you get it right? We also have the AMM. And why is that a big deal? Do you know? 3 more seconds. 2, 1. Because the BIS said that is the future moving forward, and they need the AMM to connect to the central bank digital currencies, the CBDCs. So once the AMM is live, now they can come out, according to the BIS, which is the banker for central bankers and the bank of all banks and the king of kings for the financial institution. You have Augustin Carson's from the Bank for International Settlements, the BIS. So they're saying the AMMs are basically everything moving forward. That's going live, as Ripple has stated, on March 22nd. So we're right now 2 days away from a major foundation for the new financial system going live as well. And this is just continues to get more and more exciting as the days go on and as we move forward. But it's hard not to get into so many discussions and just get totally distracted right now. But I'm going to stay on point with the Ripple community as a buzz following yet another development that many have a notable impact on the ongoing and lengthy court battle between XRP and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. And honestly, I'm going to highlight something. If you're where you're safe and not driving and not working, I'm going to highlight this right here. Whoop, I want to separate that. I highlighted the United States. I'm going to reread this one more time, and I'm going to make a point. The Ripple community is abuzz following yet another development that may have a notable impact on the ongoing and lengthy court battle between XRP and the United States, highlighted Securities and Exchange Commission. What is so not American about this is the whole thing of justice is swift justice in America. This has been the exact antithesis of that. And the interesting part is Ripple continues to win everything, and this is delayed out. And we've been over, just say 3 years, just to give it a number. Over 3 years that they have found nothing against Ripple, and Ripple has won everything. In a real world, this would have been much sooner. It would have been in and out, just like EOS. It was a quick SEC comes in, says, okay, it's a security, pay your penalty, and you can move on. They immediately did the same day the news was released, and later that evening, the price of EOS went up higher than where it was before, and they moved on unaffected. So it was clear at that point that, okay, this was all part of the plan to delay this for whatever reasonings only they know to delay this. So here we are, and I go back to that point that probably around the time that there's an announcement or shortly before the announcement is when I would expect to see the price. I think that's probably one of the final lagging, my mind is just racing. I apologize. I'm so excited about everything, but I'm trying to like lay it out without missing, and I know there's going to be tons I can't even put in here. So I think that's the lagging factor right now, short end of the story, is that's going to be the delay, because everything else is coming out. Had the case ended quickly, and what else would they have to as a reasoning for the delay of this? Because then you would go, okay, and now I know it's the AMM. Sweet. Right before the AMM goes live, I'm going to sell my car and freaking buy tons of this asset, and you would probably be right on the money. But if they delay the court case out, then there's so many factors. People are like, okay, what's going on? What is the delay? July 13, 2023, Not A Security should have been enough to send it to the moon higher than any asset on the planet, literally for the reason that it is now the only asset with 100% legal clarity, even still going into almost a year later. So that's pretty massive as well. And that, again, it took a lot and a great deal of suppression to manipulate and restrain the price from there. The other thing I would like to touch upon with the SEC and Gary Gensler, today in the news, it just got released and we shared on our X homepage, or on our X channel, I guess sounds a little better, but the SEC is now going after Ethereum for being a security. So that's going to get extremely, extremely interesting to see. And then they were stating that's the reason they were blocking the Ethereum ETH ETF is for Ethereum being security. So we already know the XXX are free and clear, XRP, XLM, and XDC, and we've shown many times of the reasoning why. So it's getting more interesting and more exciting by the day. And I think, some people couldn't understand what we were talking about years ago, and they were freaking out that we were showing the price of XRP and how it could reach those levels. And we were even going into the thing where market cap, explaining clearly on that how market cap is irrelevant once we go into utility. And then the numbers fly out the window and will be extremely many times multiplied, significantly higher whenever it's go time. And we explained how that works too. And again, even from the simple fact that if you had 100 billion tokens and you factored out, what is it going to take? $4.3 quadrillion if it did all the money. Whatever number you come up with would be pretty mind-blowing. We've done it here, but if you play around with the numbers, 4.3 quadrillion, and you divide it by the circulating supply, and even, have fun with it. Go with the total supply, 100 billion. But it's not really that already. It's around 97 billion because there's already some loss, burn rate, and it's probably significantly less than that. But having said that, the number you come up with, you have to factor in. That's a zero out number. It's got to be significantly, if not double that number, because governments aren't going to zero out. They love to have play money, fun money, spending money, put whatever fits there on your own. I'm sure everybody has something they can place there equally and better. But you got to remember, this has to last 50 to 100 years. And there has to be excessive surplus annually above and beyond all of that. And then you're just talking baffling, really, truly, as we used to say, face-melting, mind-blowing numbers. So those are huge, and I don't think very many people will be there. I think it would be like 1% of 1% who will actually see numbers like that. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because whatever number you see, whatever goal you need to achieve and reach to change your life, that's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. You don't have to be some legendary, I got the highest price ever of my asset guy. It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. So whatever you find out that makes your life happy and changes you forever, that's where it is. If it's $10, $500, $1,000, $10,000, $1 million, whatever you can wait to that you're comfortable doing. So moving past that, man, there's just so much going on. Today didn't mean to ramble on, but there's just so much. It's hard to keep it focused. But Ripple XRP price hits an all-time high, but it's not what you think. So XRP experienced a notable, though glitch-induced spike in its price observed on a cryptocurrency platform. We're going to scroll right down to that. But again, think of any other asset. What other asset have you seen that glitched? Quickly thinking off the top of my head, I don't know of any. And XRP glitches all the time. Again, I saw in my Zoom wallet, the We'd Say Wins wallet. I guess it's called Xaman now, or Xaman. They keep changing the name around a little bit and playing with it. But that wallet, We'd Say Wins wallet, I mean, I've seen a $1 glitch, $10 glitch, $100 glitch, $500 glitch, and $1,000 glitch. And even had that discussion with We'd Say When. about that, and that's where he said he was going to fix. So we did have a good discussion on that, and I think it is what it is. But here we go. A new glitch to $74.50 on the Atlantis exchange. You say what you will, but again, it's the only asset having these glitches. I think I do remember there was one other time where I believe every asset, or at least the majority of them, did glitch for an hour on Coinbase, and we saved that. Maybe we'll repost that again, where literally everybody was a billionaire and a trillionaire for an hour. The price was exponential on the majority of assets. I can't remember if it was all of them or just most of them that the XRP community is invested in. So here it is again, just sharing a new glitch now happening for $74.50. And I mean, honestly, I think a huge percentage of the XRP community would be just as happy at a number like that. Also, too, BitMEX adds XRP for spot trading ahead of Ripple versus SEC lawsuit deadline. BitMEX enhances the user experience with free conversions to over 30 cryptocurrencies and frictionless transactions, though the addition of XRP for spot trading, or through the addition of XRP spot trading. So again, they've listed it ahead of the March 20th, through the March 20th for UTC launch of the XRP USDT trading pair. Users can now deposit, trade, and withdraw XRP directly on the exchange. And that is at BitMEX. And guys, today I kind of rambled on a little bit. There's a lot of exciting stuff. We can see the end zone. We can see the finish line. Let's just see who sticks around to cross it. But as always, guys, remember, this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. And again, before we go, I do want to leave you with a final thought. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Much love, and we will catch you in the next one.